Happy Wednesday, good people of Earth. Welcome to another Dad's Turn to Talk. It's Bobby's parents' favorite show. What a week it's been. As you all know, my wife, daughter, and I just moved into a new place, and you can kind of see it back there. We're very happy with it, very relaxing. Anyway, before we start, just want to remind everyone to hit that like button and to subscribe. Also, we have included timestamps. So if you want to skip to any part of the show, feel free to do that. And now let's introduce my two guests. As you know, I'm Josh. I'm your moderator tonight. Let's talk about the man who has not had a head of hair since 2001. The man who loves the Niners, Mr. Derek William Tandro. What's up, buddy?
I'm fine, Josh. Just to let everybody know for our viewership, we'll be giving Josh intro lessons soon enough because really he needs them. So we apologize for this inconvenience.
Thank you. Knowing you probably took notes on your own intro lesson just to read off of it. So
I'm natural, my friend. Thank you.
That's funny. And then our other guest, last week was a very, very tough week for me. My teams were not doing well. My Dolphins
still lost.
My USC Trojans lost. And, I really needed sympathy from my friends. And one of them decided to go to Lids at the mall and spend money on a Michigan hat, something he'll probably never wear again. And I was thinking, wow, somebody who's got that much confidence must, have a team that's just really, really good. And so I decided to turn on the Florida State game Saturday night where they were facing SMU for the first time. And I was shocked at the score. 45-14 or 45-16. I don't even know. They got blown out. I talked to Bobby and he said, I don't care. So, typical bandwagon fan. But all I can say is karma, Bob, because maybe if you hadn't rubbed it in, your team might have shown up.
No, they wouldn't have because they suck. They wouldn't have shown up because they suck. Josh, again,
loser.
Hold on. You won't accept your own responsibility. You could have consoled me after Georgia Tech, after Boston College.
I did. I did.
No, you didn't. You rubbed it in.
Last week. We beat Wisconsin.
You rubbed it in. So that was karma on you. And what Josh doesn't seem to understand, I don't care what happens because, Derek, once apathy sets in, you don't care. The season's already gone. I told Josh I only want to see one thing.
There we go.
You did. I want to see the young.
Yeah, I want to see the young players play. That's it. Yeah. Because at this point, the guys you brought in from the transfer portal doesn't really help. A lot of them are 5th year, 6-year seniors. They don't need to play. Play the young guys at this point. That's all I want to see.
I think it was by game 2. I think Bob said we're going to be trash.
Yes. Game 2, it was halftime of the Georgia Tech game. He gave up on them.
No, I didn't give up on them. I just told you the truth.
He just knew he was going to be garbage. What?
What are you, his lawyer?
Yes, I am. Come on down. Law offices of Derek Tandro. We're in the garage.
All right. Well, everyone, we have a great show tonight. If you didn't see, we were on another podcast just last week, Dames and Dorks. We were there on Thursday night. Boy, was that fun. Oh, my God. We had so much fun.
We'll put the link to that in the description below.
Yeah, we want to thank our good friend Lily, who invited us on there, and everyone else who was there, Nora, Shmoo, Dr. Rachel. I'm trying to remember all the names. Who was the other one, Derek?
There were a lot of folks there. Yeah. Sorry, I can't remember. But thank you all.
Thank you. I mean, it was like 2.5 hours.
We had a blast.
Yeah. We had a blast. Bob, who was the other one you mentioned?
Well, let's see. There was you already mentioned Lily. There was Nomi, Dr. Rachel, Tabitha was on there. Smooth, Mags.
That was it. That was the
one. Mags.
That was it. Yep.
And we should have known, Derek. Your cousin's name is Maggie.
So?
I don't know. Never mind.
All right.
Awkward. Anyway, so we have a really fun show tonight, everyone. Some really good topics that we hope you will enjoy, minus the fantasy football topic, because
that's being discussed.
Anyway, let's go ahead and get started with our first topic. Bob, go for it. Very good. So I just finished watching this today, and The Penguin episode 2. My God, gentlemen, what an episode. So good, so well written. Colin Farrell, Derek, I went back and was watching part of our podcast last week, and when you talked about what he's done, as I'm watching this show, and I'll let you guys get to talking in a minute, but
hold on, we need to give a spoiler warning here.
Oh yeah, spoiler, yeah.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Very good. So I just want to say this. So over the years, as long as I've known Derek, he'll talk about movies with me. And we kind of mentioned this last week with Mr. Freeze on both podcasts, what he would do. How Colin Farrell plays the Penguin and how Matt Reeves has written this guy is exactly, in my opinion, how Derek would have had the Penguin in a movie, in my opinion.
That's an awfully big compliment.
He is so good. He is excellent. He's just the chemistry he's got with everyone. So, all right, let's go ahead. Bobo, let's get started with you. What did you think of the episode?
That was awesome. Look, this is great television. We have been needing a show. Well, I've seen some good ones. You haven't, Josh, because if it doesn't have Star Wars or Marvel attached to it, you won't watch it. But there are some good stuff in this show. This is one of the better ones that I've seen this year. I mean, I've seen a couple of good ones, like Shogun. I like Fallout. But this is peak television. This is great. Max always seems, I wouldn't say always, but they've had some really good stuff lately with, of course, House of the Dragon. And then, of course, you've got The Last of Us, which was pretty good. And now this is an original show that that's a spinoff from the Batman. We talked about that already. And just the way they've really been able to build off of what's come before and just go deeper into it. I really like it. There were some things that I saw in this that I didn't catch in the first episode, or maybe they didn't say, but he tells Sophia Falcone that his mother died. So I thought at first she was just kind of living off on her own, but no, he's actually hiding her from everyone. He's telling everybody she's dead. Oh. And so I thought that was kind of cool. He's doing that to protect her.
Yeah.
Obviously, it wasn't really a twist, but that she's got dementia, and you see him kind of break down and become a son in those moments to her.
Yeah.
And then at others, he's this conniving, and he's plotting and planning and trying to do everything he can. And the way he's playing both sides, the Maronis and the Falcones, I just love the way
against each other.
He's pitting everybody against each other, and he's just smart in the way that he's doing it. Like, he's talking to the new boss of the Falcone family one way, and then Sophia, he's talking to her another way. The Maronis, he's talking to them one way, and like he was going to give that file, for example, to the new head of the Falcone family.
Yeah.
And Sophia's uncle, he was going to give it to her or to him. And when the Maronis, when the wife was about to kill him, he's like, "Oh, hold on, I got this file here that you might want to check out." So he's real smart in the way he's doing everything to try to get ahead. And then at the same time, he can be sick and sadistic, like there at the end where he has the kid, because the kid messed up. He has the kid lay down in the grave with the two dead bodies. And he's like, you know what? This is what happens when you mess up. And
keep your eyes open. I want you to look. Keep your eyes open.
Yeah. So I just love the way this thing's written. It's really, really good. It's dark. It's gritty. I really enjoyed episode 2. I think episode 2 is a little bit more filler for what's going on the rest of the season, but it was good filler. That's the thing. It didn't feel like that it was just wasted time, like they were padding it out. I could see where I guess filler isn't the right word. It was setup, is what it felt like. So, and I don't mean that in a bad way, because it was very good how they were setting everything up. I really liked episode 2.
That's awesome. Derek, what did you think?
I said no cilantro.
Take it off now.
First of all, Colin Farrell and Kristen, what's her name? Maliani?
Sophia?
Hold on. Let me get her name.
Yeah, we apologize. We need to get her name right.
No, those two. Hold on. Let's let Bob get the name first. And then
Kristen Milotti.
Kristen Milotti and Colin Farrell. Give them Emmys right now, both of them.
So good. Yep.
He is great.
And I'm saying this off of 2 episodes. Give them Emmys, both of them right now. That's how good and awesome this show has already been. That scene with the FEMA truck. Chef's kiss.
Which scene?
How you have it done.
The scene with the FEMA truck.
When he basically hijacks it and takes it away from him.
Oh God, that was
that was absolutely brilliant. I can't even remember the last time I saw something like that on a show. So well done there. To Bob's point, this is filler, but the great part about this show is that it doesn't slow down.
No.
The minute it starts, it goes, and foot is on the gas every episode.
And it is not like it's action. It's intensity is what it is.
Yep.
Yes. That's a great word.
Like you say, it starts off right away, but it's intense.
They do a great job also with anticipation. It's very well done on that level. Sophia, her face, she says so much.
Yeah.
Just by the way she looks at you. Like when I first saw her, I was just like, oh my dang. Like she didn't even need to say like any words. You could just tell like she was a loose cannon. Just by her look, that was it. And that's a great actress. So hats off to her. We already mentioned that. But there's really nothing to not like. I'm hooked. I'm in. Yeah. I think this is going to be probably one of the best shows of this year, hands down. And it's only going to keep getting better. Both these 2 episodes have already put this into another orbit for me. And I can't wait for what's next. I love shows like this.
You know what? You know what was really cool? You mentioned how she says so much with her eyes and everything. The scene I really liked was when her cousin had turned around. Well, why don't we have a girls' trip? And then the cousin's daughter comes in.
Yes.
So she reaches down to talk
fix
to the
the
daughter,
barrette.
and she pulls the barrette, and she's like pulling the daughter close. No, it's okay, I got it. And she looks at her and she's like, no, I got it. Realizing that no, you don't really want to go on a girls' trip. You're just being nice. And because they're all afraid of her because they said she had killed, what was it, 7 women?
Yeah,
is what they said.
Yeah.
So, and obviously we don't know all the details of it yet, but yeah, she's great, and and she plays off of Colin Farrell so well. I like the scenes that they have together.
They are great together. They're fantastic. They have great chemistry. What I love about this version of the Penguin too, it's like it's a Bruce Wayne mind in a criminal.
Yes,
so basically all true. This like Batman and in essence is a detective. That's what he is.
Yeah,
that's why he's friends with Commissioner Gordon.
Exactly.
So to be a good detective, you got to think like a criminal.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Penguin already knows how to be. Penguin right now is showing you how to be a great criminal. And I think the fun part is when the Batman 2, whenever this does come out, the Penguin's going to be a huge, formidable foe up against Batman now. Because now that you have this level of a story, you realize just how good he is as a villain. So it's actually doing a ton of justice on multiple levels.
Did you, one of the things I love, like I mentioned, I love the show, love where it's going, attention to detail. You know, I mentioned the callback last week to, Burgess Meredith.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted, and most people might say this is obvious, what I'm about to say, but if you maybe look at Marvel or something, they might not show this. The scene where Sophia invites Oz into the mausoleum for the cemetery,
Yeah.
and she's looking at the stones, and it showed Carmine, it showed the mom, and I paused because Carmine, gave the date 2022, and it showed his son November, like a couple days later, 2022. And
Yeah, I
I know
saw
it was
that.
probably obvious, but I'm like, Lucasfilm or Marvel might not show that, might change that. And I just thought that was such a great attention to detail. The other thing I noticed, Bob, did you see Maroney's wife? She was in 24.
Oh yeah, but she's been in a lot of stuff.
I know. Great
I
actress.
mean, yeah, she's great. Not too long ago, she was in The Expanse. That's a really good show too.
Great actor.
Who's the guy that plays Johnny on that show? I've seen that guy everywhere too, and I cannot remember his name.
Oh, on The Expanse?
No, on the Penguin. I was just thinking about Johnny. It's a
Vitti. Yeah. What was his name? Johnny Vitti or something like that?
The one who killed one of the guys at the end. The one who, when the guy got framed by Penguin.
Yes. Michael Kelly.
Thank you. Yes, I looked up his name once, and that was it. Yeah, he's great too. He's another guy that's been everywhere as well.
No, it was just so good, and what a show! Do you see what we mean, everyone, about great writing? We're happy. We love it. This can be done.
We're happy.
This can be done. And here you have a actress like Sophia, who we can get behind.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious because I saw who the writers were on this show, and basically how there's a collective group of folks that seem to have put this all together. So I'm kind of curious if they have a history, if they've all written stuff together like previously. If they have, I would love to see what else they've done.
Right. And Matt Reeves is executive producer. So he's telling them, what it should be.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't, it drives me crazy because we watch, The Acolyte, and it was horrible. And we watch Agatha, and it's horrible.
It's clear that these guys, that everybody knows what they're doing and where they're going.
It's pure. It's the right vision.
Yes, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
This is Matt Reeves' vision.
Yeah,
of the Batman and where he's wanting to take this whole universe, and it's obviously very different from what James Gunn is doing. And they're very careful or I shouldn't say careful, but they're very, like you said, detail oriented to make sure that everything fits to this universe. And I just love what I'm seeing from this. This is extremely well done so far.
The Batman 2 is going to reap serious benefits off of this.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Serious benefits.
Absolutely.
I don't know who's supposed to be the villain in that one, but you might as well make it the Penguin now.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Well, we already know Colin Farrell's coming back for the Batman 2, and my understanding is Zoe Kravitz is supposed to come back.
Oh, really?
As Catwoman. Well, I mean, I can't see them not bringing her back, but my understanding was she was coming back.
Yeah,
Did you like her in that other one, Bob?
I didn't have a problem with her. She's not my favorite Catwoman, but I thought she was fine for what they did for the film. I was fine with it.
It wasn't what I expected. That is for sure. But it wasn't bad either. It worked.
No, there were some scenes that she had that I really liked.
Yeah.
So
gotcha.
I like Michelle Pfeiffer.
Well, everybody likes Michelle Pfeiffer. That's why everybody keeps going back to Michelle Pfeiffer. I still think it's Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer in that cat outfit. Come on.
Enough said.
And then she learned how to handle that whip herself.
12 years old when that movie came out. So we were like, oh, who's that?
Perfect timing. Nailed it.
Perfect timing. Yeah, so I thought it was just such a good episode. And again, I don't want them to bombard Batman 2 with a ton of villains,
Yeah, I hope not.
Because Bobby say, oh, now Catwoman's back. I'm like, a Penguin definitely has to be in it. I frankly don't know where they're going with it. which is awesome.
Well, that's the fun part too. Now, if the Batman 2 is supposed to come out 2026, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we could have another season of this, in theory.
Maybe.
My understanding is this is supposed to be a limited series, so
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's build up.
but the thing is, if this is coming out right at the end of 2024, they're supposed to start filming in 2025. So that'll be perfect timing for the summer of 2026 for this to come out, or for the Batman. So,
Gotcha.
yeah, I mean, this is good. This is great, and the tone of it, the look of it. I mean, we talked last week. I mean, this is a gangster show.
Yeah.
This is not a comic book show. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, obviously it's got the comic book characters, but this feels like a gangster show first and foremost, which is what I like about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's different from a lot of the other stuff that's coming out. It's not cheesy. It doesn't have all that dumb Marvel humor or anything like that.
Not at all.
Or no, I mean, this is dark. This is gritty. This is good.
It also adds to the character of Gotham as well, just to how many dimensions of bad Gotham is.
Yeah.
And, shows you exactly what the royalty is of the bad, all the way down to the foot soldiers. So that's always a fun thing to see.
It's amazing how there's been no mention, though, of Batman.
But it doesn't need to be.
Good, though.
And you don't need it.
Precisely.
But remember, even in the Batman, they said he had been doing it for what? 2 years?
2 years.
But even then, he was so good at hiding in the shadows that a lot of people still thought he was just a myth or a legend. They weren't. I mean, they were scared that maybe he is out there. But when people would see him, some people didn't even quite get who he was. I mean, it was new to them.
Right.
Like, what was it when the Batman shows up at the Iceberg Lounge and the guy opens the door and he's like, he tells him, "Do you know who I am?" And he's like, "Yeah, I know." Yeah, I mean, he had to ask him, "Do you know who I am?" Because not everybody still believed in the Batman.
That was always that was brought onto us, I think, by Batman Begins. Just the idea of him being like a figure in the shadows. You don't really see him. It's a very awesome way to do Batman. It's the right way to pull that character off.
And it's interesting because we talked in Dames and Dorks last week about Batman, and I mentioned the origin and everything, and Lily and Bob both said no, do something in its prime. I agree with you guys. I think I want to see movies with Batman in his prime,
and not just movies. I heard another YouTuber say it. I agree with it 100%, and I've said it before too. Batman should be a show, and you could do it like a Netflix show. Make each episode an hour long, 8 to 10 episodes of him being a detective and having to figure out the mystery that gets solved by the end of it. And just as you go through, you can go through a lot of the rogues gallery to get there.
Yeah. I was about to say that the library is in front of you, is it not?
Yes.
The animated series.
Yes, that's it. It's like I said last week. The animated series, just do that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Live action animated series is what you said.
You got the blueprint right there.
Yeah. It would be fun on the show to cast a live action episode. Pick an episode of Batman the Animated Series and cast it accordingly. That'd be fun. Just saying.
Yeah.
It could be.
Ideas for the future.
Yeah, if this were Lucasfilm, what they would have done is they would have taken the blonde lady who what's his name is sleeping with and make a movie about her that nobody cares about.
Why do you have to do that?
I just have to.
Why do you have to go to that?
Because it frustrates me that we can't get this all of a sudden on Marvel.
So just appreciate this for what it is and stop ruining it.
Well, it's because I said, Derek, that unless it says Marvel or Star Wars, Josh doesn't watch it. So
both of you get an incomplete for the night. I'm done. You don't even pass. You don't even get an attempt.
And there's some good stuff out there. Some of the best shows this year have been gangster shows. The Gentleman, fantastic show over on Netflix. Tulsa King, I love Tulsa King. That's a great show.
I gotta check that out.
Yes, you got to watch Tulsa King. Tulsa King's great.
Yeah.
And Stallone,
I Out of the park.
And then and then this. So I mean, this is great. Yeah, it's nice to have some good television to talk about.
No,
We're
it's
not
very
talking
good.
about stuff that we hate. We're
No, it's good.
talking about
Excellent.
stuff, and maybe
Um,
not necessarily hate, but stuff that we didn't like or whatever the case
That's
was.
right.
This is
We can
nice.
start talking about Agatha again if you really want to. We can get back to some.
You know
bad
what?
stuff.
Okay, just real quick on Agatha.
Yeah.
I did watch episode 3. I have
You
not
did.
watched. I have not watched episode 4 yet.
How's episode 3?
The whole point that Derek made about the wine. You made a joke about wine moms or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first half of the episode, you literally have a bunch of them all drinking wine. And
Oh,
I can't help but think that they threw that in there on purpose because they knew people would make fun of them for that. I will say this though. The second half of the episode was actually pretty good. I'm not going to knock the second half.
Really? Now we got to watch it.
I actually liked the second half of the episode.
All right.
Now the first half, I was kind of like, but the second half, I actually kind of dug. So I do want to see the fourth episode because it's like I said, this show frustrates me because there are things in it that I like and things that I'm like, oh my god, really? But yeah, the second half of the episode was fine. So take that for what that's worth. Going into episode 4.
At least it's not a bag of wrong, like a complete bag of garbage. Like
yeah, it's not like The Acolyte or what Secret Invasion was, or so far this is at least a little bit better. And I like the fact that they're not taking themselves seriously. I mean, they understand this is
they know their role. They know what it is. They know what it is. All right, well, good on them. Good on them for that.
I did hear today there's a possibility of Eric Bana coming back as the Hulk for the new Avengers movie.
Really?
That's a rumor.
Mark Ruffalo's he just doesn't want to do it anymore?
Well, if you took his character to where they did, would you want to do it?
That's fair.
Yeah, they ruined him.
Yeah. But that just means you can keep a bad version of the Hulk, and now you just have Eric Bana doing it.
Yeah, not good. All right, gentlemen. Anything else about Penguin?
No.
Keep watching. Can't wait.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next episode. I really like what they've done so far. So
this has been a great one, and I think it's only going to continue being great.
All right. So with that said, let's go on to our next topic. Bob, go ahead.
Dang,
You're hired.
Was ominous.
Yeah, I picked the music just because the picture looked kind of cool to do it.
Yeah. So as everybody knows, Netflix released a Vince McMahon documentary that I guess they started filming in 2021 before a lot of these allegations came up about him. And it's really the first time where you get a sit-down interview with Vince McMahon about his life and everything. Just to let everyone know, I have not finished the documentary. Bobby has. Derek, I don't think you finished it either, but we know a lot about it.
Okay, wait a minute, Josh. How many episodes did you get through?
Like 1.5, I'd say.
So you have no frame of reference here, Donnie. You're like a child who wanders into the middle of a movie and
Of course. Nothing with Derek. Nothing with Derek. You're a bully, Bob. You are.
He's used that on me once before.
I've used that on you twice. So.
Oh, there you go.
Everybody out there, Bobby is a bully, okay? So I just want that he's bullying me. Okay?
Shut up!
Go. More bullying. More bullying.
Stop
Bobby,
walking into it, Josh.
Bobby,
Let's move on, Josh.
You're only making this worse for yourself.
Oh my God. All right.
Like I said, you walk into it.
All right. Shut up, Bobby. We don't care about you. We just used you for your expertise in technology. That's it. Anyway, on that note, so what did you guys think of the documentary? What you've seen? Let's start with you, Derrico. What are your impressions?
I think I had maybe the wrong impressions about what was supposed to be going on here. Because I did hear that, yes, this was supposed to be something that Vince McMahon was going to release. But then we heard about everything else that happened.
Right.
So then I'm thinking to myself, well, they're probably going to do 6 episodes about all of that. That was not the case. You basically get taken through Vince McMahon's life for the most part. I know that, and I haven't seen this episode yet, but in the last one, I think that's when it covers what transpired recently.
Okay, so just
go
real
ahead.
quick to piggyback off of that. So essentially, what happens is they get to that last episode and they show where the new allegations came out, and
Yeah.
they show an empty seat in the ring, and then they pop up that Vince McMahon, once the allegations came out, canceled his final interviews with Netflix. So once the newest or the most recent allegations started, and I guess it was actually the ones that started when he first stepped away from the company. That's when he canceled it and never picked it back up. And then they actually have some more interviews with Bruce Pritchard and Meltzer and Bischoff and some of the others, that were interviewed throughout the thing afterwards to kind of touch on the allegations, the newest ones. And I'll say I was like you, Derek. I wasn't quite sure what to think. I'll continue in a minute. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, thank you for the info there. I mean, it's if you're a big time wrestling fan, you know a lot of the stuff that happens with the stories that are told here. Not all of it, but you know a lot of it. So there's nothing wrong with revisiting it through this documentary. In fact, if anything, it's actually kind of cool to see how WrestleMania first got started. That's a heck of a story.
That was awesome.
Yeah. And then, and not just the first WrestleMania, but then the fact that they had to bounce satellites twice off of the second WrestleMania. And if one thing glitched wrong, the show was over.
And Vince said never again.
Yeah.
Never again am I doing that.
Yeah. Bad idea. I don't know. Do you think you can get away with it now? Maybe a little easier now.
Yeah, now they could do it. But
they could.
I mean, I'm not rooting for that, but I'm just saying, I think they could get away with it. It might be a little bit trickier. No, probably not. You could probably get it in one stadium somewhere and then another stadium somewhere else. But that's always interesting. And of course, they do a whole episode about the Montreal screw job, which at this point, it's always a good story, but it's also a story I've heard like 100 times.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I know. All right. I'm sorry, Brett. At some point, you got to move on.
Brett screwed Brett.
I have no sympathy. It was interesting to kind of hear Shawn Michaels' perspective on it, present day.
What did he say? What does he say about it?
Well, he basically
they were told to lie.
Yeah, he told a lie, and he wasn't. He's like, back then I was not awesome. He uses other language. But he full-fledged admits how awful he was to deal with, and so good for him for fessing up to it. You know what I mean?
All right.
So it's fun to chronologically kind of go through the years and see just how big WWE has gotten. Look, sorry, whether you like it or not, whether these allegations are true or not, WWE is not where it is right now without him. It's just where it is. Both things can be true as well. There could be some awful things that happen, and he can also be responsible for what we see today. It's a complicated thing. So I'd still enjoyed it. I'm still going to watch these last two. I think, Bob, you had mentioned there's an episode kind of about the family dynamics.
Yeah, that's episode 5.
Yeah.
And then episode 6 deals heavily with the allegations, the most recent stuff, and him stepping away. It's real interesting the way this thing was structured because, like you said, I wasn't sure what to expect. It's very much a history of him building the company and where the company went from when it first started to what it is now. And you see the decisions that he made to get them where they were at, all the business decisions, that he wasn't afraid to try new things. He wasn't even afraid to bring people back who had sued him, competed against him. Whatever was good for business, he would do it. I mean, even to the point where he had, his daughter, as part of the show, and he was fine with everybody calling her, every name in the book. Yes. And, some of the storylines that they came up with that, where he drugs his wife and he's sitting there making out with somebody right in front of his wife, and it was just crazy, the stuff he would do for business. And I think that was the whole point the documentary was trying to make, is where did the character of Mr. McMahon end and the real Vince McMahon begin? Were they one and the same? I thought it was interesting that at several parts during the documentary, they would ask Vince, about the Mr. McMahon character and his real life, and in real life, were they the one and the same? And he would be like, no, I'm completely different than the Mr. McMahon character. But then they would ask the wrestlers and they'd be like, oh yeah, he's just like the Mr. McMahon character.
He's exactly like that.
They say, yes, it's an exaggeration, but a lot of those qualities and everything are there. So I thought that was kind of interesting. What's weird about this is the timing of this. And I don't think that it's necessarily a horrible documentary as far as that it makes Vince look like a monster. It's more that the audience makes up their own mind whether he's a monster or not. I don't think it necessarily portrays him that way. I think it does it like, okay, he did all these good things and then here's all these bad things that they're saying. Now you go make up your own mind. That's the way I kind of took it. I will say this, all throughout the episodes, there's all sorts of different scandals that kind of get thrown into each episode, and you forget how long the WWE and Vince McMahon have been dealing with different scandals, whether it be drug abuse, steroids, wrestlers dying, allegations of assault and sexual escapades and all these other stuff that are there. And stuff that some stuff I didn't even know about. Like I want to be careful about the language used here so we don't get hit with anything, but the segment where they talked about involving the Ring Boys and that what was it, a referee and they ended up having to fire 3 different employees, and one involved or one of the firings was Pat Patterson, who he ended up bringing back. So they also talked on Superfly and his stuff. So there were all sorts of different allegations and scandals and lawsuits and all sorts of things. And it was interesting how you would see some of the history of wrestling, and then all of a sudden there would be a scandal kind of thrown in there, and then it would get back to the wrestling, and then there'd be another scandal. And so there was all sorts of different stuff. The parts I found interesting also were when they touched on that. What was the name of that writer who wrote that column? Can't remember.
Was it Schultz or the other guy?
No, not the ones you saw. This is a little bit after that.
Oh,
he was the one talking about all the steroid abuse and everything. He would write all those articles on
not
it.
Meltzer, right?
Mushnick.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
and so I thought it was interesting how long he had been reporting on some of this stuff.
Yeah.
And how long the WWE had gotten away with a lot of it, or were able to kind of push it under the rug.
Did anything surprise you, Bob? Were you like, anything shock you at all?
Well, the one with the Ring Boys did. And again, I'm being careful what I say because of certain keyword language that could flag us. So, but yeah, that particular scandal, I wasn't even aware of that one.
No.
And so,
okay, go ahead.
So there are certain ones here and there where I kind of look back and I'm like, oh, wow. And then you know, what Hogan said when he gets to the steroid trial, and I couldn't tell if he was admitting to lying on the stand or if he just said, I already knew what I was going to say because he never actually encouraged us. We just chose to do it. But he never said, oh yeah, he knew about it anyway. He was careful in the words that he used.
That whole story is fishy. Like that, it's hard to, you're right. It's hard to figure all that out.
Did they ever say why he wore the neck brace?
He had surgery or something, right?
Oh, is that what it was? Okay, I never
but they're saying a lot of people were theorizing that he was doing a heel move, like a heel manager move.
It's funny because we talk about, we always joke around and talk about our knowledge of wrestling and everything. The one thing that did not shock me but surprised me that I did not know was, I told Derek earlier, Bob, and I'm curious what you think, Gorilla Monsoon almost buying WWE, which I don't know what would have happened then.
Okay, it makes sense when you watch the rest of the documentary, and the reason why I say that is because Vince's relationship with his father very much parallels his own relationship with Shane.
Right.
And
that's right.
So you understand his relationship more with his father and why his father wanted to possibly sell it to Gorilla Monsoon, because then you look at the way Vince McMahon interacts with Shane.
Yeah.
It's very simple. And I will say that was actually my favorite part of the documentary. And when you get to episode 5, when they're talking about Shane and everything that he tried to do to impress his father, and they really touch on some of the dangerous stuff that he would do. And they even show the moment when he completed his match with The Undertaker at WrestleMania, and they have them backstage and they're embracing and stuff. Yeah. And Shane was like, I finally got what I wanted. I got my hug and respect.
Interesting with all that. Yeah, it's very
taking a beeline off a cell of 45. You better get some love.
Yeah. No, it was very interesting. No, from what I've seen so far, I thought it was very good. It was very interesting to see Vince talk about. It's just so crazy because we all watched it in the 80s and we had no clue Vince was the owner.
Yeah, no, not for a little while.
No, because he played
he didn't want
a TV. Yeah, he played a character. He played an announcer or whatnot. It wasn't until when was it? There's a part in the documentary where they say that he finally stopped with the illusion that he didn't own it. Was it during the steroid trial? Stopped? Or was it a little bit before?
He had made mention of the fact that he was the owner then, but he still didn't play it up on TV.
No,
because there's a point after that. No. But there's a point where they say, and it's before the Attitude Era, where he started just going with the fact, okay, yeah, I'm the owner.
Yeah, I think it was the steroid trial.
I think it was not. Let me ask you guys this: not when Randy Savage left, like 95,
and they do touch on the fact that Hogan left, Randy Savage left, all of them left, and they started competing against them, and how much of a blow that was to them. Yeah. Not just from a business standpoint, but personally, that like with Hogan, when Hogan left, he said that he would never compete against Vince. But then he turned around and did it. And that's understandable. I mean, money talks. He had been away from it for a while. There wasn't really a place for him if he went back. And so he went somewhere else. But I could understand why Vince felt burned by that.
You know what, that was the part. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but that was the part of the show. That was the part of the series where I thought about you, was because they had mentioned that Hulkamania kind of started fizzling out at one point. It was around like 92, 93,
when he left.
But it wasn't totally fizzled out. People had still loved it, but he said but it wasn't until they really felt it over in WCW where they tried it that way, because the Disney stuff wasn't working out. So then that's when they made the decision to turn him heel.
Well, you heard, and I can't remember if we discussed this or not a couple months ago, that at WrestleMania 6, that Hogan went to Vince and said, I have this idea for a Hollywood Hogan character.
Well, they mentioned in the documentary that Vince really had no intention of ever turning Hulk Hogan heel.
No.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Hollywood Hogan.
Yeah, he had no intention of doing it.
He didn't.
And they mentioned in the documentary how important it was that Hulk Hogan turned heel and how that led to the ratings spike. And what was interesting is that Ted Turner was getting like all the credit for everything that was happening. Vince was attacking Ted Turner here, Ted Turner there. And Bischoff was just like, gosh, can't I get some little bit of respect? It's me who's beating you.
Yeah.
He even says it in the night. He's like, it's me who's beating
I
you.
remember.
And it's interesting because, you know, Vince was sitting there saying how Ted Turner was doing this wrong and he was stealing their talent and their gimmicks and all that stuff. Bischoff just did exactly what Vince did. And they established that in the first 2 episodes that Vince went into all those other territories and rated their talent. And that's all Bischoff did is he rated the WWE talent that Vince really thought was kind of on their way out. And he wanted to make a move to a different, generation. And then, so he got Hogan, he got Savage, and then he started rating some of the younger talent, like with Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. And when he got them, that just changed everything. And they talk about how the fact that they were getting whipped in the ratings, because even the Undertaker said it, they were whipping us.
Yeah.
And I mean, it wasn't like it was even
childish performers. Remember, they had Duke the Dumpster Drosy. They had the hockey guy. They were. Let's face it. As crazy as he was, Vince Russo, he saved that. It was his right. I hate to tell you, it wasn't Vince who saved who got the Attitude Era. It was Vince Russo who helped get them going.
He introduced the right approach to move forward.
Yeah. He did.
Yeah,
but he had some terrible ideas too.
Yeah, really a lot of that. You got to keep in mind that a lot of that was Vince McMahon because he was still in charge of creative. He still had to give the final decisions over everything. He
was desperate.
Like when he kind of let Shawn Michaels and Triple H do their thing as DX.
Yes,
and then he would fine them, and then turn around and be like, okay, let's do some more of that.
Oh my God.
I heard they almost got kicked off USA Network. It was Triple H said this close to being kicked off.
Here's what saved them with the Attitude Era. Just like Hulk Hogan turning heel and is what spiked WCW, having the Austin McMahon feud is what spiked the Attitude Era.
Yep.
Because a hero is only as good as their heel or as their villain. And having the Mr. McMahon character was a great villain. And they even mentioned that, I think, in the documentary, that he might be the greatest heel in the history of professional wrestling because the character was just so unlikable.
Yeah.
And I mean, what's not to hate about this character?
And it was the perfect villain. It's the perfect villain for Stone Cold.
Yes.
That was so good.
He was anti-establishment, anti-authority.
Yep.
And here you've got this billionaire who owns the company and
he's giving this guy a paycheck. He's under his watch.
Remember when he was the higher power?
No, God, let's move on.
Yeah, that was a bad gimmick.
That was a bad idea.
Higher power.
The best part about that whole gimmick was when they revealed him as the higher power, and everybody's like, "Huh?" But then Stone Cold comes out and he's wearing that tie, with his baseball shirt, and he Linda McMahon had hired him to be the new CEO of the company.
Yep.
That was the best part of that gimmick.
Stone Cold was, dude. You tune in every week just to see what he was going to do. Oh my God, it was so good.
When he done Vince the first time.
I remember that? Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was huge. They made a whole thing. I remember the Garden. They made the whole night led up to the idea that Vince McMahon was going to get in the ring, which had never been done before. No. And he was going to face Stone Cold that night. I will never forget that build up. That was unreal. That was great.
God, he was so good. Remember when Kane and Taker beat up Vince? Broke his ankle?
Oh, that was brutal. It destroyed him.
No, they touch on a lot of that stuff, but like I said, in the middle of all of that, they're throwing in scandals here and there, saying this was what was going on during that time. They were accused of assault or sexual assault at this point. They were accused of, this at that point, steroid abuse. Wrestlers are dying young. All of that stuff that they touch on, and I don't know if you got to this point yet, Derek, but where they talked about you probably didn't, where they were talking about the wrestlers dying young. And there was something very interesting there is they asked Vince if he had any responsibility in it. And he just flat out, no, I have no responsibility whatsoever.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't make them take this stuff. I didn't make them do any of that.
He has said that before. He said it before on Real Sports, that show on HBO.
Oh, with Bob Costas.
He didn't say it there. He said it on Brian Gumbel's show.
Oh, okay.
And he said, I don't bear any responsibility for that at all. I didn't make him do anything. And it's like, sure about that?
This is the interesting thing, because in the documentary, they talk about the whole Jesse Ventura thing. And at WrestleMania 2, with Hogan ratting him out, and you hear it from Tony Atlas, you hear it from guys, it happened. And if they had had some sort of, medical insurance or, a union, maybe some of those guys would have, lived longer, but they basically felt the stress.
They wouldn't have lived longer.
I don't know.
They wouldn't have lived longer.
They said if they didn't work, they didn't get paid.
Okay. Here's why they wouldn't have lived longer. Because Tony Atlas even said the type of lifestyle we were all living during that time, that wouldn't have changed.
Yeah, there's a lot of, there was the 80s were a wild time, man.
Yeah. And it was pretty crazy. Now it's funny, Josh, because you mentioned the fact that if they weren't working so much, and they actually touch on the fact in one of the later episodes that they don't work the schedule that they used to work.
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
So, Josh, you see, that's why they don't defend the title every single week.
Yeah, but like when we were young, they had. Remember,
he never defends the title. I don't know why you give him the title.
We didn't have the pay-per-views when we were young. It was all house shows. I am this close.
The point I was making, Josh, and I've made it before when we talked about that. That's why I brought this up. Is that
to bully me? That's why you brought it up.
Well,
you have
to make fun of you, yes. But but
I'm going to start a website. Bobby and Derek BullyJosh.com. Please.
No, the reason I brought it up is because since they don't have the work schedule that they used to have, you don't see them on TV as much. You don't see them on all the different pay-per-views. There are reasons why they have less title defenses. They have less appearances.
I get it.
Less shows. Their contracts are bigger, so
they're guaranteed.
There's a wide net of things as to why you don't see them defending the title every time. There's a reason Hogan defended it. What was it, like 500 times or something like that?
That was crazy.
As opposed to Roman Reigns, who defended it 50 times. Because the work schedule is different. Right. Their expectations of them are different. And they even mentioned that because of some of the scandals and some of the deaths and the concussions and stuff like that, they actually changed their work schedule because of that. So they point that out in the documentary.
They've gotten better all around with that, honestly. Like everybody's lifestyle is healthier. Since it's such a lucrative company, they don't have to do as many house shows anymore. So they get more time at home with their family. Now that they do these 5-match PLEs, not everybody has to haul themselves out to that and then do Raw. It's actually a much lighter way. It's a better way to do it.
You've got what's his name? Gunther. He's not going to be on this next PLE.
Nope.
And he's going to defend the title on Raw. As opposed to having to travel and go do another one and then come back and do Raw the next night.
Well, and Hunter has said there's very specific reasons why we have 5 matches on PLEs. It's because he wants to give people a show and a match for Raw. He wants them to have main events.
which is
is
good.
What he's doing.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I give
a
him
lot of
credit.
a lot of the changes that we see are because of things that happened that they mentioned in the documentary. So I thought that was really cool.
Very cool.
Good call.
All right. Anything else, gentlemen?
No, that's all I got for that.
All right.
Yeah.
Marco?
No, I got nothing else.
Good documentary.
Yeah, it is a good documentary. I
I'll
did want to
finish it.
mention one more thing though. It is kind of crazy that Hunter's the one in command when Shane is not.
Okay, and they will get to that. So just keep watching because they do get to that.
All right.
Now, Stephanie or Shane don't mention anything about the allegations, right?
No, they don't because you don't see any interviews from them after that. Their interviews are the stuff that was taped prior.
Legally, they might.
You do see stuff from Pritchard.
Really? Okay, Pritchard does say okay.
No.
Double. All right. Anyway, all right. Let's go up to our next topic, Bobo. I'd like to skip this next topic if we don't mind.
No. All right.
As you know, we have been doing this fantasy football league, Bobby's idea, which, if you ask me, horrible idea, terrible idea, probably one of the worst ideas he's ever had. But anyway, I just want to say that I messed up this week. I thought we were doing the $1 million one, so I had the wrong lineup.
Excuses.
So, not excuses, truth.
Excuses.
All right, Bob, go ahead.
All right. I just need to remind everyone that after week 1, Josh was praising himself, patting himself on the back for the fact that he beat Derek and I.
Do it again.
Derek, business dancing right now. None.
Derek turned around and won week 2. Josh came in last place. And after week 3, I finally had a win and beat these two.
Oops.
Okay, that makes no sense.
So now we are into week 4. And I am proud to say that after week 4, I once again have beaten these two.
Is there one from Home Alone 1 and one from Home Alone 2?
No.
Well, those are from
Home
Alone 2. So, all right. So let's just get into the week 4 recap. So we're going to start off with Josh, who is once again in last place. Josh, you actually had a good play with CJ Stroud at quarterback. James Conner, I thought, was a good play. Aaron Jones. I think Aaron Jones was a very good play. I also played him in one of my other lineups, and I was hoping for a few more points there, but 17.9 was pretty good. Worthy, he actually did better, and I think part of that was because Rashee Rice went out.
Yeah.
Ayuk stunk it up.
Yeah,
Lazard did okay for his price. Cole Kmet, and Drake London did okay. The Cardinals with -2 points on the defense, little score of 116.4. Final verdict. Bob made me play, and he gets an F for this.
Yep. You get an F, Bob. Mate, you don't have to get an F. You get an incomplete. You're not a good friend.
So now we get into Derek.
Derek just looks at it like he's disgusted at me.
That was what Bob said to do.
Yeah. I'll get some different picks from you guys for next week. But so Jaden Daniels, great play.
Yeah.
Chuba Hubbard was also a really good play. Nico Collins went off for you. I thought that was a great to play both Nico Collins and Stephon Diggs. It's funny that you did that because I also did that, not in this lineup.
Oh, here we go.
But I did it in my Millionaire Maker lineup, and I did come up with $1,200, for the weekend.
Here we go. The gambler.
So I can't complain. But you got I thought that was a good combination to play both of them, especially with Tank Dell out. Rashid to come back to Shaheed, I thought was a good play.
Yeah.
Cole Kmet again, it was kind of a letdown. Najee Harris was also a little bit of a letdown. Your biggest letdown though was Carson Steele.
Sure was.
Yeah, I mean, I figured out why you went with him because Pacheco out. You're thinking he was going to pick up the load, and that's just not what happened.
No.
So your final score.
I wasn't expecting much out of him, honestly.
Yeah, but you know what? I know you expected more than 0.6 points.
Yes, that's true.
In all fairness, he would have had 1.6, but he did have a fumble.
True,
so final score 140.72. What was that? Almost 30 points more than Josh. Final verdict. You really can't give me 2 extra points.
Wow, Bob, you are such a bully. Everything revolves around me.
No, he really can't get 2 extra points, and the reason he was wanting 2 extra points is because he lost to me by about 1.5 points. I came in first place.
Kyler Murray.
I had Kyler Murray. So once again, for 4 weeks, I have had some absolutely awful quarterback play. But Jordan Mason, Chuba Hubbard, James Conner went with 3 running backs. All of them got over 20 points. Probably my best play was Trey Tucker from Las Vegas. He only cost $3,600 to get him. He got me 15.4 points. Marvin Harrison didn't kill me, but I was hoping for more. Dallas Goedert was fine with 13.2. Defense, I played the Jets, got 6 points. Final score was 142.08. Final verdict, I knew these two sucked.
Wow. What? You look like Abraham Lincoln in that picture.
Four score.
And so we're at the leaderboard, and after 4 weeks, I am on top with 2 wins, and Josh and Derek are tied for second place or third place, how you ever want to look at it, with 1 win apiece. So that is our fantasy recap for the week.
Fair.
All right. So let's go for our last topic of the night. Go for it, Bob. All right, so holiday season is right around the corner. I can't believe we're saying that. We're already in October. And we decided to kind of give Derek, we decided to kind of talk a little about the previews of the holiday movies. Got some good sequels coming out and some newer movies as well. So let's go ahead.
Point out that when we're talking holidays, we're talking from the month of October. We're talking this whole last quarter here, because you're talking Halloween, Thanksgiving, right, Christmas, New Year. So it's the holiday season. We're already in it.
Got it. So, Derica, why don't you start? Any of these movies you're looking forward to?
Oh man, it's some. I mean, I'm gonna see the third Venom. I just am. I will admit that now. I'm not expecting a lot. I mean, the idea is that really this gets down to, it's kind of like Deadpool and Wolverine with Venom. Like, you're not watching this for plot. That's a very bad idea. You're watching it because of Tom Hardy's relationship with the symbiote. That's what it is now. So I'm looking forward to it. Go ahead.
Here's what I will tell you. It will be better than Agatha.
That's
maybe not by much, but
but it will be better. Absolutely. Let's see. I'm trying to take a look at some of the other stuff here. I'll tell you what I will not be seeing. Gladiator 2.
Really? Okay.
No.
All right.
Bobby will be there first night. Are you kidding?
Okay. Well, I will to review it. Now, here's the thing with Gladiator 2.
All about his own show.
I am not excited for it.
Okay.
I have lower expectations, but the second trailer made me more interested than the first one. So I will check that out. I have low expectations. We'll see what happens, but I'm not expecting much from it.
All right. I'm sorry. I just can't buy into a Gladiator movie with a little Wayne song playing in the background. All right. No, we're not doing that. And the fact that Denzel is in, I mean, look, all due respect to Denzel, but I saw him in the preview, and I'm like, you don't belong here. Like I mean, look, if you ask me about almost every other Denzel movie, I will have nothing but praise. Training Day was just on the other day. That movie's awesome.
It's good.
But Gladiator 2, not the fit, not the fit. But I'll move on from that one. We'll keep going here. I don't know. I mean, I don't know about Red 1. I don't know about that one.
Which one's that one?
It's the one where Santa, otherwise known as Red 1, gets taken hostage.
Oh, the Rock movie.
Yes, with J.K. Simmons, I believe.
As Santa Claus.
Which is that okay? That's funny. I will give them that one. But yeah, I guess I don't know. It's interesting. I'll say that.
Crap, mega crap.
I was ready for
It may
that.
very well be just that too.
And
No,
thank
I'm
you.
kind of like you. It kind of looks interesting. You know what? Here's what's got me kind of interested in it.
Okay.
It's from the same director who did the last 2 Jumanji movies.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Then you know what? That might not be so bad.
So it might be okay.
It might be okay. All right. Okay. I'm up for it. I can roll with that. Let's see. I will not be seeing Kraven the Hunter either.
No.
No, I think I'm gonna have to leave that one alone. I do like the guy who plays him though. He looks like he can play the part. I will admit that.
Yeah,
It's so
but they're
like-
doing it all wrong. They're doing it all wrong.
Then how should they do it, Josh?
Just like the comic book movies. Don't you get mad at me. What do you think this is? I'm agreeing with you, and you're getting mad at me. I disagree with you. You get mad at me. I can't win. I give up. This is ridiculous, Derek.
Did you say I bully you?
Well, you do it all the time.
All right. So let's move on. Now, I do believe Bob, I'm curious to get your thoughts about this because I know you are a fan. The new Lord of the Rings.
Okay. You know what? I saw the trailer for that, and that looks
Mhm.
it looks interesting enough where I'm going to check it out.
Okay.
I do think it'll be better than Rings of Power.
Okay. All right.
Which is a low bar.
What's
But,
it about? Where does it stand in the Lord of Rings timeline?
Oh, I'm trying to remember. I'm wanting to
It's-
say it's
like 183 years before.
yeah, it's a prequel.
Yeah. So
But it focuses on the country of Rohan
yeah.
with
And
the
no
weird-
Peter Jackson directing, right?
And
he's
I don't know.
involved,
Yeah.
but he's not directing.
Okay.
I mean, the only reason I show curiosity with this is because Helm's Deep is one of the best battle scenes I've ever seen in a movie ever.
Yes.
So I do show intrigue on that level.
And it's animated, which is the cool
And it's
thing.
animated.
So it's going to be something a little different.
A little
Oh, it's
different.
animated.
Yeah. Nosferatu, good luck, Lily. Have a ball with that. And of course, we have the movies that we'll be taking the kids to. We've got Moana 2, looks great.
Yep.
Probably going to take probably going to go see Mufasa. Probably going to go see it. In the words of Bob, I'm going to go see that traitor. Let's see. I think Sonic the Hedgehog 3, yeah, that's coming out in the holidays, so we'll go check that one out. So actually, I think on the kids front, there's some good pickings on that level. So some stuff, yes, I'm looking forward to it. Your
Very
thoughts, gentlemen?
All right, Bobo, go for it.
A lot of these I'm going to end up having to go see anyway just to review them. So,
Oh, there we go. It's all about Bobby and his reviews,
well,
everybody.
Josh, I have a channel that does film reviews. If I don't go see
doesn't
them, then what's the
matter.
point
It's
of
all
having
about
the
us.
channel?
You should be focused on us, not your film reviews.
God, how much of a needy child do you have to be in life?
Well, what are you, his attorney?
Yes.
I mean,
Larry,
so- but you see, you want to know why I have?
No.
You want to know why I have to review it? Because you don't go to watch any of the movies. If it doesn't say Marvel, you won't go see it.
The two of you are bullies. Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm way off base here.
You can be twins. I'll take off your hat. Show everyone your ugly mug too. Jesus.
Jeez.
I will
give
handle that, Josh.
I give up. I'm done.
No, and like I said, I'm going to have to review a lot of these because my channel does reviews. So yes,
reviews.
I am going to be watching a lot of these. Now, the ones that you didn't mention that look kind of interesting to me, Saturday Night, the one that's supposed to be about it's like 90 minutes before Saturday Night Live was supposed to kick off.
That sounds cool.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So it's off that very first Saturday Night Live. And that one looks like it could be kind of interesting. I saw the trailer for that, and that looks like it could be interesting. Okay. I'm going to see Joker tomorrow.
Oh, that'll be good.
Well, did you guys see did you see the movie Wonder?
No.
That was the one about that kid who had had some facial deformities, ended up having to have a lot of surgeries, goes to school for the first time and whatnot. It had Julia Roberts and Owen Wilson. Anyway, there's a sequel that's coming out to that, and I'm gonna go check that out, called White Bird. I'm gonna go see that on Friday.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm going through this list here, see what else looks interesting. Of course, Venom. You already mentioned that one. And I'll go see that. There's one. This one looks kind of interesting. It's called Weekend in Taipei.
What's that about?
I saw the trailer for it once, so I don't know everything that's on it.
I'll tell you what it sounds like.
It's the movie stars Luke Evans. It looks like it's it's like a kung fu action type movie.
Yeah, I mean, I was about to say it sounds like almost like a Weekend in Bangkok.
It looks kind of cool. So I'll check that out. Wicked.
Yes.
I saw the second trailer for that looked better than the first one.
Yeah.
So, and I never saw the Broadway show or saw it done anywhere else. So I'm interested to see it. I hear nothing but good things about the show, so I'm willing to give the movie a shot.
You boys are on your own with that one.
Well, my thing is, I have not been a fan over the years of these reimagining of villains that we're supposed to see them as sympathetic characters like Cruella or Maleficent or one of the. I'm just not a fan of that. But Wicked, my understanding, is one of the ones that did it first, and I'm willing to give it a shot and see how it is. This is going to be kind of interesting because Gladiator 2 and Wicked come out on the same day. I'm thinking Gladiator 2. I'm thinking Gladiator 2 is probably going to bomb. And then just a few days after that, Moana 2 comes out. For Thanksgiving. So I think it comes out like on a Wednesday or something like that. So you're going to have Wicked and Moana 2 practically competing against each other. So that could be kind of interesting to see how that one plays out. Sonic 3, of course, I do want to see. You mentioned Mufasa. Mm-hmm. Lily, of course, wants to see Nosferatu. I'll probably go check that out.
Which one was Nosferatu?
That's a vampire.
It's a vampire movie.
Oh, the one
it's from like way back when.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a remake.
Yeah.
Are they doing a Frankenstein movie this holiday season?
No. Another one of the horror movies that's coming out, Smile 2.
Smile 2. Okay.
The first one, I never saw the first one. I do need to go watch it because I'm kind of interested in the second one.
I just had an advertisement for it, actually.
So yeah, I mean, there's some stuff here and there, but I don't see beyond Wicked and Moana really anything that's huge. This one I think could be kind of interesting. It's called The Best Christmas Pageant Ever. It's by the director from The Chosen.
Oh,
and so it looks like so it's faith-based, but it has Lauren Graham, Judy Greer, in it. And
I saw a preview for this.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. It
yeah.
looks like it could be kind of like a good Christmas movie to take kids to if you know for families that that celebrate Christmas. So that could be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Again, it's by the director of The Chosen, so I'm kind of curious to see how he'll do away from The Chosen with that one. From my understanding, there's a couple of actors from the series that are supposed to appear in the movie, so that could be kind of interesting too. But yeah, I don't see much this year where I'm just like, oh wow, that's one. Like, almost every year you got that one or two holiday movies that it's like, okay, yeah, that's the one we got to go see, or that's the one that we're really waiting for. Like, when was it? 2021. It was Spider-Man.
Right.
That came out. What was it, in December?
Sure did.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you've always, in the early 2000s, you had the Lord of the Rings. You had a new one every year.
Yep. In December.
So I just don't see anything like that. That's this big blockbuster that's just waiting to be seen. About the closest thing I could say would be Moana and Wicked, because I don't think Mufasa is going to actually be a hit. I think it might be an okay movie, but I don't think it's going to be a hit. I just have a feeling this one's not going to have the same success that the Lion King live action did.
Probably not.
So, I mean, just a feeling. I could be wrong. Yeah, and I hope it's good because I am going to go watch it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll probably go to the theater with the kiddos on that one too. But I do have a feeling that this one, no, it's not going to hit the same.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. But
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, like I said, maybe I'll be wrong. So,
True.
what about you, Josh? Anything there? Interesting?
Yeah. I saw Wicked on Broadway here in LA years ago. Thought it was excellent. So I might have a different opinion on that. We'll see. Definitely go see it. It's a very good story, very unique. Unless they screw it up, which you never know. I want to see it. Definitely want to see Moana 2 with Charlie. It's one of our favorite movies. In terms of Moana 1. Not going to see Craven. Have no interest. Unless
that.
Watch it turn out to be good.
Right. Unless Pop go see it. I do
another Spider-Man movie without Spider-Man in it. It's great.
I just don't get what they're. Let's do this, but there's no Spider-Man. But yet we have Penguin. There's no Batman, but it's
but it's a spin-off character from a Batman movie that he was in. So it's a continuation of that character.
Plus, it's a show. It's not a movie.
Yes. Right. And he was already established.
Right.
These are all standalones from characters that are in the Spider-Man universe, but they're not actually attached to any of the film Spider-Man.
Correct. What else am I thinking?
Coming to you in January, Electro.
I'd like to see the Joker. That's funny. But I'm waiting for Bobby to see it, to see if he hates it or likes it.
I'm going to be curious about this.
Josh, really? Is it really all about my channel? That you just want to see my review first?
Yeah, I do. I have to see a review first.
You bash the channel now. You want
because then I'm going to go do my reviews, and then and then he's mad because he's waiting for me to do it.
My God, you get an F. You get an F. No, you get an incomplete. Go to your room right now and explain to your wife that you get an incomplete for the night.
What are you talking about? I am in my room.
She already sent him there.
She's like, "You're going there."
No, she tells him, "Go to your room." Yes.
Oh, should I? See ya.
Should I? Do you have a big screen in there? Big screen TV?
There's a big monitor. It's a little bit tricky because I have a PC for work and I have a Mac that's my personal. So hooking the Mac up to the big screen, some odd reason it doesn't like it. But for the most part, I can find other ways to get to the big screen to watch stuff. Like I'll be doing this Saturday night because there's something on.
Nice.
Do you know of what I speak? I think you do. No, he doesn't. I can't.
Bad blood? Bad blood?
Thank you.
Anyway, that should be a fun one, I think.
Yeah, I think it'll be good.
Anyway, I'm trying to think of any others that are coming out. Yeah, like you said, Simba or the Lion King one, maybe. I don't know.
This
That's
feels like summer. Do you guys remember that when we were like,
And
Yeah,
I
we
think
had
that
a
a lot of that
feeling.
has to do with the fact that when all those strikes hit, they moved
Yeah.
everything back.
oh, good point. Yep.
So we're getting a lot of the stuff that was held over, and the stuff that should have come out this year got pushed back.
Right.
So we're gonna have to wait a while until the end, until the good stuff.
I think next year will be more loaded.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We get more stuff.
Like, think about it. This year you had one Marvel movie, for example,
Yeah, it's crazy.
or one MCU movie. I mean, because we did have other comic book garbage. Madam Web. We got Venom, and we got Craven coming out. But so it's not like there weren't comic book movies. But that's just an example of stuff that got pushed off. But the next year, we know we got Captain Falcon. We've got we've got the Thunderbolts. And then there's another one coming out. Fantastic Four is supposed to be next year, isn't it?
Is it?
I think it's summer.
Superman is supposed to come out next year.
Oh gosh, that's
Superman.
right. I mean,
Yeah,
James
that'll be-
Gunn. We're gonna see if
No.
if all his work paid off.
That'll be delayed for 3 more years, just to spite me.
Just to spite you.
Just to spite me.
And he
You
calls
got-
us bullies. You see, everybody's doing stuff to spite him, but then
Exactly.
we're the bullies.
You two are you especially, Bob. Derek is mixed. You just are 150% a
I
bully.
just want to point out to you, Josh,
Here we go.
that we pick on you, but nobody else can pick on you.
Oh, thank you.
We
That's
got
true.
you.
And I
We got
pick on you guys too. I pick on you guys too.
No, you're like
absolutely.
the little brother. We get to pick on you. Nobody else
What
does.
am I, the little brother? No.
Look at yourself.
You are the youngest of the three of us.
Oh, that's nice. At this age, I like that.
Well, you are.
Yeah, Bob's birthday next week.
Shut up, Josh.
Let's have a big
Uh-oh.
birthday celebration next Wednesday.
To Vegas he goes. No,
We'll have to. Oh, he loves Vegas. He won't visit me, but he'll go to Vegas in a minute and make up an excuse.
well, the wind's expecting him.
That's all he'll go is to the win.
No,
Well,
it's because it's nice.
I
Yeah, and they
absolutely
comp
would do
everything
that.
for me. So
We need to do a guys podcast in person.
That'd be
Episode
great.
100. Las
Episode
Vegas.
100. What are we on?
Episode 100.
we're on
Las
30.
Vegas. Yeah, I mean it's gonna go faster than you think.
Yeah, well,
By the time we get to our year mark, that'll be 52. We'll be
Yeah.
almost over halfway there.
True. That's true.
Fantastic Four comes out July 25th of next year, by the way.
yeah. So
okay, that'll be
there's
cool. I'm looking
there's
forward
several
to
there's several comic book movies next year. So that's my point. Is that a couple of them I think were supposed to come out this year and they got
Right.
pushed back. So that's
Oh,
an
the villain's
example.
Galactus, by the way. That'll work.
Oh,
Yeah.
and another example of something that got pushed back. The new Karate Kid was supposed to come out at the end of this year, and it got pushed back to the summer.
Oh yeah, you said because of the of Cobra Kai.
Well, I think it was the strikes and stuff that the reason why they pushed it back, but I think it also makes sense to push it back because of Cobra Kai. You don't
Right.
want it overlapping.
No. Good idea.
All right, gentlemen. Well, anything else about movies?
Yeah.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Where is your theater that you gents generally tend to go to? Is it an AMC? Is it a Cinemark? Century Theaters?
It's a
Cinemark
Cinemark
and
for me.
Regal. Cinemark and Regal. What about you?
Okay. I have two that I go to. There's the one there's a Century Cinemark right downtown,
Yeah.
very close. But if you really want to spoil yourself, you go to a place called Cinepolis, and that's where they give you
The
bottomless
food.
popcorn and bottomless sodas. Not to mention the fact that you can get drinks and they actually serve you food if you
Yeah.
want it. And
Oh, sounds epic right now.
it's pretty. The seats are ultra comfortable. They're the size of my desk. They're fantastic.
They've got where I live, they got several theaters now because we've got the
Alamo Draft.
Well, we got the Cinemark, we got the Alamo Draft House. There's also a Flix Brew, that's fairly close, and then across town we have an IMAX, up at a Premier Cinema that occasionally I'll go to, if I'm in the area,
Interesting.
and so yeah.
Very good. Just curious. We talk a lot about theaters. I never knew where you guys went, so that was all I wanted to know.
But it's
Well,
usually, but yeah, I've got like 3 of them that are fairly close.
Nice.
Yeah,
Good
we've
choice.
seen a lot, Bob, at Cinemark, you and I.
Yep.
Cinemark, and then we grew up with General Cinema. Did you guys have General Cinema, Derek?
No.
General Cinema. That was a cool one.
Yeah, we used to have there was a huge theater. It was kind of interesting how it worked around me. We now have a theater in the town where I grew up, but that took forever and a day to get. Before that, there was you really had to go to a town about 25 minutes just up the road, and that was Walnut Creek, and that was like a 16 theater type deal. It was pretty big. But if you kind of wanted to avoid crowds, you went to the town that was right next door in a town called Orinda. And they had one of the coolest big theaters I've ever seen in my life. That's where I saw both Star Trek, the new ones, both Star Trek movies there.
Nice.
And it was excellent. I've seen a lot of cool movies in that theater. The Fugitive being one of them. We talked about that on the thread the other day.
That was a great
Fantastic.
movie.
Yeah,
Great movie.
good stuff. Those were the
Bob,
days.
do you have something else to say?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay. All right, gentlemen. Well, that was an awesome podcast tonight. Let's do our weekly wrap up with where we can find everyone. Derek, you start.
I'm going to go watch the Vince McMahon documentary, try to finish that up, and feel old because of how much wrestling is actually on that. So that means you're going to find me over on Facebook and LinkedIn.
Very good. Bob, where can we find you?
You can find me on my YouTube channel, Bob Loves Movies. Links will be below, and you can find me also on X and Criticless.
Nice. And you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn. I'm a realtor here in Southern California. I am the family man of the Valley. If you want to buy or sell your house, give me a call. All right, gentlemen. Well, what a great show. Great to see you both. And again, we will see you guys next week. Have a great week.
Thanks,
Good night.
everybody.
Later.
All right.